So today we are here. The youth candidates game has been announced, and as a result, because it got cancelled 4 times, as a result, we now know it's on the 29th. We've got a youth intake on the 25th of September. How do the players look? And also, we've had quite a few games since last time, but first and foremost, let's go over the youth intake players as I hover over it now and click. Apparently, we only got one elite prospect. It's considered the golden generation, with Julia Fisher considered the diamond in a very strong group of players. Should I be disappointed? Honestly, I kind of feel disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Also, it just says player. Doesn't. Why does it need to have? Why do you need to have the word play underneath? Oh, this does not look like the best of times, does it? Okay, so these players are definitely a no-go. A lot of these players are probably a no-go as well. So probably 2 players here, maybe 3 players. So we've only got 6 players we can look at. But Julia Fisher is a centre-back who looked like she could also play as a fullback. I just realised they've literally cut off the left side of the... How the hell they screwed that up? Unbelievable. Anyway, Julia Fisher actually looks reasonable. She's a centre-back, yes, who could take free kicks. She could play at centre midfield and at fullback. 10 crossing. I can see the set pieces thing. I'm also just going to point this out. I think she's a centre-back. 5'11", 14 jumping reach, 13 tackling, 10 heading. Yeah, she's definitely a centre-back. With the 17 bravery as well, no less. Yeah, she's definitely a centre-back as far as I'm concerned. 14 teamwork, decent work rate. She's left-footed, and I feel like we can definitely work with this. Julia Fisher is definitely a centre-back first and foremost, and legitimately looks like a decent one. Clearly was playing in midfield and the left-back position just before when she was able to do the free kick stuff, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. So this is Lola Rainberg, a right-back, first and foremost, mainly a right-back, who can't really cross or dribble, has good decision making, has good technique, isn't the best tackling either, and has got good balance. A playmaking wingback, really? Vision of 9, passing of 7. This is not good, is it? This feels like someone's messed up with this player's development. Playing in midfield, she might be a centre midfielder, you know? This is probably a terrible thing to say, but a right centre midfielder, no. Midfield playmaker, not really. Not a channel midfielder either. She doesn't feel like a player that would fit in my team. She'll need a lot of work, but ooh, she's not. Renberg's not had the best of developments. That's gonna be what I see here. What about Olivia Hallengren? DM, immediate DM, box to box, and a deep line playmaker. Annoying that I can definitely see the playmaker part of things. Teamwork, work rate, tackling, decisions, the deep line part anyway. Box to box midfield I could also see. Passing of 8, vision of 9. I can see how that could be the case. Definitely feels like a DM though. Alright, Tilde Tonel is a left winger who has 5 crossing, inside winger, 10 dribbling and 13 technique though. Good acceleration, good flair. Alright, she definitely cuts inside though, right-footed, but has a strong left foot as well. She's definitely inside winger though, cuts inside like that. Should I be excited though? I don't know. Filippa Nordenberg is another DM, another box-to-box. Definitely feels more box-to-box this one. And can play midfield as well, as a wide centre midfielder, but I'm not sure what to make of her. Doesn't look like she's going to have the best potential either. Quincy Caro is the last one. She is a winger. Good physicals, I'll give her that. Good physicals, good work rate, good technique, decent flair, good determination and leadership. She could definitely be a leader, but that's all she is, I think. There's not much more to her game, really. She's just a physical specimen, and that's it. Needs work. Also, now that I've gone through these players, these 6 players, not really that excited, if I'm honest with you. This felt like a bit of disappointment, despite the fact it is considered a golden generation. Why, I don't know if that's the case, but there we go. Yeah, I'm not actually impressed with this youth intake, I'm going to be honest with you. That being said, I did make some transfers and make a sell. But not Goldman. Goldman's still at the club. Perhaps surprisingly, it was Linnea Respun that ended up being sold to Ingolstadt, of all places. We sold for 30,000. The fact her value is only between 14 to 35,000 is interesting. She's playing in the German leagues now as a starter, looks like. Not the best of ratings, has got an assist, and the Google Pixel Bundesliga, they've lost every game. She's played every game starting for them, and yeah, she's not going to do well, is she? It's not one of those leagues I expected to do well in at all. It's a bigger league. They came in with 28,000. Well, they came in with a bid of 25,000. I kind of bumped up to 30,000. Not expecting much for her. But yeah, we made some money. 28,000 up front. Another 2 grand further down the line. If they survive, they're not going to survive. Another grand if she gets top goal scorer. She's not scored yet. And 30% of next sale profits, which given her top value is only 5,000 more than what we sold her for, 7,000 more. I don't expect that to happen. But I did buy a German. A German has officially signed for the club, going the other way. And if I'm honest with you, Hannah Lehmann is probably the better player. She's a right-footed player who could play on the left of the field, both sides, could play as an attacking midfielder, and could play instead of the field as a channel midfielder. And quite frankly, feels like an upgrade on Respun. She's only being paid £180 a week compared to the £330 a week we're paying Respun. She has also gotten 3 goals and an assist in her first 5 matches. She's only started twice, so she didn't even ask to be a starter. She's only a squad player for me. This is a big upgrade on Respun as far as I'm concerned, and quite frankly, I am delighted to have managed to sign Hannah Lehmann to be a part of my project. Resolute personality as well, so even the personality is an upgrade. I feel bad that Respun is considered a downgrade compared to Hannah, but she is, really. Also a value of 50,000 to 65,000 pounds. I think that makes her one of the highest value player in the club now, and that's good. I only got her for a year and a bit, so I'm probably willing to give her a new contract sooner rather than later. Quite frankly, this felt like a no-brainer when I realized how good she was and how little she was asking for. At least compared to the other players I was looking at. I could have got some better players, but they're asking for 2 to 3 times the amount of money she's asking for, so this felt like a big upgrade. Also, we sent some players out on loan, 3 players in fact, and Judith Eklund is out on loan. She is in the 3rd tier of Swedish football. I have already decided I'm not going to renew her contract, so she is going to be gone. Was it her? No, it wasn't her. There was a player that I gave a contract to that I was going to end up having to pay like £600 every certain amount of appearances. I can't remember who it was. I just noticed something stupid I did. I regret immediately after I realized what I'd done. But Judith is probably going to be let go at the end of the season. But Manaslo is also out on loan, but she's in the 2nd tier at Bosthana. So that was a bit of a surprise to get this loan move done. It means she's playing at a higher level. She's on a professional deal now, £140 a week. It's not her contract. It's not her contract, but she's definitely in one of those situations where she'll get paid good money if she plays a certain amount of games. Do regret that decision, honestly. I didn't play her, did I? No, I've not played her at all. I think she's been on my bench. I think she's been on my bench before now, but yeah, she's a player that has a lot of upsides and development. I think she's going to make a lot of it. The fact we got a loan move for her in the 2nd tier is outstanding. And Frida Eckerberg is also out on loan in the 2nd tier. Couldn't believe I got this one either. She's got a goal in the 2nd tier too, so she has now got a goal. We even played her once this season in the league. Mostly from the bench because I had injury in midfield. The fact she could play midfield and attack is so useful. Is it her contract that I should be concerned about? I can't remember if it's her deal or not. I don't think he even signed her to a professional deal. No, she's still in a youth deal. Oh yeah, she's still in a youth deal still. So clearly wasn't her. Who the hell did I give that stupid contract to? I can't even remember, and that's the worst thing. That being said, we've had a few cases last minute, so let's go over them. So the first game we had was a 1-1 draw against Rosengard. It was a good goal, and so there's something I've just noticed in this, that you can now see that one of their players, Fia Sobel, has actually gone to Tottenham. On loan. Yes, not a permanent deal. On loan. I don't know how I can see that. Can I see? I don't think you can see. Optional future fee of 120,000. Would you sign that? She's there until the end of their season, so yeah, she played against us and then went on loan to Tottenham. That's fascinating that I could see that in this, by the way. I didn't know I could do that. But yeah, this is one of the last games we had for Respin. And I believe she's still... No, she might have been injured at this point. I think there's a lot of injuries we had, or we just sold her. But yeah, she was not there. And we were only able to get a draw. I thought we could do more, but clearly not. Then we took on BK Häcken and lost 4-0. They actually scored a very good goal. Anna Andegard was a nightmare for this team as far as I'm concerned, because she scored a bicycle kick. It bounced before she hit it, but it was still a bicycle kick that found it back in the net. I'll probably pop up the replay now for you, because I did actually save it. It was one of the things I wanted to make sure I saved. But this was one of the most ridiculous goals I've ever seen. And quite frankly, the fact they won by 4-0 was very irritating, but it was a good goal. It was a good game for their point of view, and it was their revenge for what we did to them in the cup. So clearly, they took exception to the fact we beat them 4-2 in the cup final. So, oops. But hey, at least they got it out of the system, I suppose. But whatever the case was, we were spurred on by the defeat, and we ended up beating Kristianstad by 3-2. We did let them get into the game towards the end. Was a bit annoying that we let them get 2 goals, but we still held on for the victory, and we managed to get all 3 points. Good to see we're not doing too badly after all, I suppose. And it was a good response to losing 4-0 the game before. Then we took on Elfsborg and beat them by 4-1. This was not a game that we were particularly proud of because we went behind early doors. But the response afterwards, when we went behind, was good. They scored early doors. We equalised within 8 minutes. And then in the second half, we got 3 goals in 20 minutes. So a good performance as far as I was concerned. Astrom actually came on as a striker in this game because of reasons. And yes, Hannah Lemon is scoring her first goal in this game. Also got an assist. I think this is her debut game. Yeah, she came from the bench. This is her debut game. She got a goal and an assist from the bench in this match. So that's one hell of a way to make a debut as far as I'm concerned. A really good performance and a really good opponent for her to show off what she could do. Then we went to Hammarby and beat them 3-2. The fact we barely won away from home before this game was interesting, but we managed to get ourselves into this position where we 1-0 up early doors, concede 2 goals, then equalise 3 minutes after conceding that goal, and then get the winner before the end of the first half. And happy days, we won this. I felt like we weren't going to at times, but honestly, we held on. We got all 3 points. Cassandra Larson getting a brace was really good for our point of view. And it goes to show you just what we can do at this point in time and where we can go. The fact that Hannah was also on the bench as well, and we only put on later doors, shows that we have strength now that we probably didn't before, which is still crazy to me that we can say that, but there you go. Then we took Susanna SK in the cup and went behind once, almost shot ourselves in the foot, and then won thanks to a late penalty from Robertson. So we got away with one here, honestly. Wasn't our best game, but at least we got through to the next round, and we are now in the group stage. I'll show you the fixtures after I finish the last game, because our next game was a 3-2 victory against Your Gardens. We went ahead 3 times. They came back and equalised twice, but after the 3rd time we took the lead, they didn't even have a fight back and didn't have a response. And we showed that we can once again win. A good performance as far as I was concerned, and a very, very good 3 points. Yes, again, we're winning. It's lovely, isn't it? And the last game we had before we met was actually a 4-0 victory against Linköping in the league. We've now won 6 games in a row after losing 4-0 at home to BK Häcken. So clearly something has clicked since that defeat and we got woken up. Maybe Hannah Lemon signing for us is a good sign. But once again, we're just looking very consistent, very promising. And I feel like we are a much better team now. Also, Hannah is so good. She might be my best signing I've made in the series so far in the save, because she got a 9.3 rating. Isabel Goldman, by the way, 2 goals and 2 assists. She's outstanding for us. And also, we got all 4 goals after the 60th minute. So clearly, once we scored the opening goal, they just capitulated and collapsed upon themselves. It was very awkward to watch. But anyway, these are the 3 games of the Swedish Cup, and it's Malmo, Årgård, and BK Häcken's B team. I think we can get through that. I know we could definitely get top 2 definitely top 2 for that because of Albright and BK Häcken. It's the Malmo game that's the concerning one, but you never know in Sweden, do you, at this point in time, especially in this competition. But as things stand, surprisingly enough, we're now in 4th, which is potentially the craziest thing, and what is probably more damning on Växjö's appearances and situation is the fact they're no longer top, and have not won in 6 league games. It is one of the most incredible boss lanes I've seen in a long time. BK Häcken are now top, having lost their first 2 games of the season, which honestly in itself is amazing. Also, I'm going to flash it up now. Petia actually offered me a job interview. I said no. So that's a thing to talk about. We are now very comfortably clear the relegation zone. 21 points clear the relegation zone at right, and could be 21 points clear of the relegation playoff zone. So today, when we take on IF Paikkonen, we can go ahead and secure survival officially, which is amazing to say we could do that with 6 games left, but it is a thing we can do. And I still can't believe it went this well. So there you go. But still, an opportunity here. And I don't want to jinx myself here when I say this, but are we in a title fight by chance? Because at one point, the top 6 was separated by just 3 points. And I'll flash it up now. But crazy how tight it was at one point. Yes, BK Häcken had not won that game in hand, but that is beside the point. I also have now given Fanny Woolmark a new contract, £160 a week. And she's developing quite nicely as far as I'm concerned, so I am hopeful she can get better and better per game, per season. 17 years of age now, and it's a good career she's developing for herself, I think. I really think she's going to be the star for the team at some point. I really do. Even if I played her 5 times, and she's not had the best of appearances, but she's also come from the bench, so I don't particularly blame her. But here we are, about to take on Paikkonen. They're in 12th, so I think even the draw would mean that we are officially safe at this point, without a relegation playoffs to worry about. And Maya is back, so we've actually had a good run of performances regardless. And I'm happy to see what we can do here. But this is our starting lineup. Bjorn, Falstrom, Becker, Korte, Miettinen, Mattsson, Nygren, Goldman, Bronston, Larsson, Robertson. And on the bench, we got Barderson, Solen, Anderson, Hannah Lehmann, Backstrom, Astrom, Ankov, Trumic, and Holgram. So a good team to say the least. We've got a few players that we can probably say after a certain period we can bring into the first team and give them a test run, but I don't think we'll have the opportunity to test players out this season. But that being said, let's take on Paikkonen and make sure we do ourselves justice and secure survival at the bare minimum. So, despite how little we've changed the squad, the fact they've actually adjusted so well to the top flight after a rocky patch at one point is so promising and so exciting for the long-term future of the save, because we know we can definitely do a lot of things now as Goldman's on the ball. Still going Goldman, goes for goal, save, but this team has potential to be very, very good now. And as far as we are concerned, this could be a season where maybe we peak too soon or we peak too late. I don't know. But I don't mind the fact that we are competing for a top half finish at the bare minimum, as Branston, can find Robertson does so. Plays it back to Mattsson. And here we are now. Nygren, Mattsson, Goldman. Not the best of passes, but we get the ball back anyway from Larsson. Nygren, Miettinen, Mattsson. Look at how tightly we are congesting the field, by the way, in the middle of the park. And the fact we can just keep our players around is so useful. Robertson goes for goal. That is a good save. But you see how we are passing around nicely and keeping it congested in the middle? That's what I want to do with this team. Also, when I say that's what I want to do with the team, I also want to use the width of the pitch as much as possible. So we spread the play whenever we can when we can't get out of this area, like congestion. So we can keep it congested in the middle of the park, but then also make it so we use the width. And we also just sometimes have to go from range. Not always going to work, but it's nice that we have the opportunity. An opportunity again for us. Nygren finds Mattsson, and she's got options here. Nygren wasn't the best pass from her, and now a potential to get caught on a counter for us. What if I can use a back 5 formation is interesting. I don't know what to really expect at this point as Spenberg finds Lilbrock, and that is a goal for Lilbach, not Brock. Luis Lilbach has given them the lead. So despite all our possession, despite all of our prowess here, we have allowed ourselves to get caught in a goal like this. Not great. And it's just the wrong side of the defender. The two centre-backs just not keeping an eye on their player. And she just gets the first time effort away. And it's really well taken, unfortunately, for us. So not ideal. And despite that, we are still going to be in fourth place regardless as things stand. I think AIK are drawing as well. They're losing the BK Hackers. So honestly, it doesn't matter what's going to happen there. We're probably still going to be in fourth place regardless of result anyway. I would like to get up to second place or third place regardless though, just so we can have the extra excuse to do well. Okay, so they got a lot of bookings now. Goldman finds Miettinen. And maybe this is time for Hannah to come on the pitch and do some damage again. Anderson, Nygren. We went behind early on against Elfsborg, don't forget, and we end up winning 4-1. So maybe we could do something like that in this game as Nygren goes for goal. Hits the post and Goldman, oh, shots blocked. That was an opportunity that she didn't take. Here's Miettinen. Plays across to find Anderson. Oh, that's not really what I was looking for. But here is Goldman now. And I'm actually going to take Goldman off because she's getting tired. Had a good game, but I think Hannah Lehmann is going to come on and do some damage here. Okay, I've gone very attacking. They're playing with more caution now. But we need a goal. And I am refusing to get caught by this banana skin match. As far as I'm concerned. Astrom's not the best, but here is Hannah Lehmann. Plays across to Brandstrom. It feels like a long highlight regardless, doesn't it? As they play the ball forward. They get the first header, but we win the second header. So this is what we can do. Brandstrom now. Nygren. We do need to get this equalizer. At the bare minimum, we want to draw. We don't want to lose this game. Anderson. Hannah. Astrom. There's an opportunity. We're more focused on the pace now. Making sure we don't do anything silly here. It's Nygren. Lehmann. Brandstrom, Robertson. Hannah Lehmann denied by Ekstrand again. Their goalkeeper's been a better player, but we also had a lot of long-range efforts, which is not helping in our case. It's ironic that we have this really good run of form, and as soon as they come back, we start losing this game. But this is always one of the banana skin matches, as that was a bit of a mistake from Miettinen, honestly. She got a bit cocky with that, it looks like. And Torifio is running with the ball. And this is a problem because she can play it in the middle and they can make it two. They've literally won the game. Okay, for goodness sake. I hate it, but we have lost. And this is not, I'm not going to watch the highlight. That was annoying because AIK also just won against BK Hacken 3-2. I just saw it later on. God damn it. We got hit by this back five formation. Unbelievable. Okay, so we're down to 5th because Hammarby also beat Your Gardens, which actually means we could have gone and be higher up. If we had won, we would be in 3rd place. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, as Vaxo lose again to Christiansen this time. If I'm honest with you, I don't think this is actually the end of the world, that we are not going to get the title so soon, or at least be in a contention with a title fight. I don't think we're ready for the next step. And that is the next phase. So surviving is the first aim. A top half finish is what I'm asking for now. Honestly, because we need a top half finish. Elfsborg winning against Linköping meant that actually Von Peiken did need that win after all. A lot more than they thought they would. And Kristianstad winning their game has helped they ease their relegation concerns because they are now only 3 points clear of the relegation playoffs as things stand. So it's not great. But that being said, I'm going to end things on this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and share this video. And that you'll subscribe to the channel. Really does help me a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.